Shalom, 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 shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yehoshai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. Giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Rise up to the house of David. Alright, coming back at you with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yehoshai. Some words, we're going to check out some words after watching some news, catching up a little bit with the news. Scriptures came to mind. So throughout the process of me going through this video, things shall be, the reasons will be revealed. Psalms 2 and 4, we're going to start with Psalms chapter 2 and verse 4 says, He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision. Derision, derision. The word came to me. Let me tell you why the word came to me. While I was watching the news last night, some of you may have seen this. Senator Republican leader Mitch McConnell frees mid-sentence and stares vacantly for around 20 seconds during press conference. This man I got senile. So the Most High is throwing these people out in derision, man. You know what I mean? It's simple as that, man. All of this place is a joke, a puppy show. You got the other geezer there, Sleepy Joe, falling asleep and doing all kind of foolishness, falling up the stairs, falling on the platform. Is it the MK Ultra messing up, going is it a glitch in the matrix with the MK Ultra, or is he just going senile? And I'm talking about all of them. And over here in England too is a joke, it's a puppy show. It's a big puppy show. So the word just came to me, the Psalms precepts came to me, and there's a lot of words that we can get into, but for the sake of time, we're going to see if we can keep this one short, because it's very simple. The Most High throwing this, the Senate, and this old, this geezer is ready to go in the old people's home. They should put him in the old home. It's about that time, man. Put the man in our old people home, man. What of them? The man, how old is he? 81-year-old approached the podium and began speaking before appearing to lose his train of thought and trailing off with a drawn out that's what happens when you go senile. You start humming and doing all kind of folly, man. This is especially with the E's, them. They lose their faculties earlier because they're weaker people, they're recessive people. And they get old before time and it will start wrinkling up, getting the crow's eyes and all kind of wrinkling. They lose their mind before prematurely, and they age prematurely too because they're not supposed to be on the planet. They're an abomination on the planet, and we see how the Most High is making an example of these people. They ain't supposed to be leading over us. It was just an experiment or just a punishment for us. Them being over us was just a punishment for us. So there's a crack now. The cracks are starting to show in the Senate with these people. He then appeared to stare vacantly onto space for around 20 seconds. It's a puppy show, man. It's a puppy show. So that's why I read the precept, man. And when you go into the word, let's look at it. The word derision, what does it mean? Everything falls into place when it comes to the Most High, man. See? Prophecies all fall into place, man. Derision. Yeah? To mock, deride, ridicule. The Most High is sitting up in the heavens and laughing, and he's having them in derision. To mock, deride, have in derision. There you have it, man. To mock. Most High is mocking them. These people are being mocked. Leaders of the world is a great, massive puppy show. Mock, laugh, have them in derision. Laugh to scorn. Stammering. Most High is laughing them to scorn. It's a mockery show for this. This place is falling to pieces, making a joke, and and then all the people over the world saw that. All the other nations saw that. You know, you can imagine, man. They're just sitting up back. Even they're laughing too. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. So these people now, you're going to see more cracks starting to show with what goes on in this. Because it happens already. We know it happens, what happens behind the scenes. These things happen behind the scenes. But, you know, when they say business as usual, that's what they try and do, cover it up. When it happens in mid-flow, out in front, when the lights are on, it's happening now. And they try and cover it up. Business as usual, but it's a mockery show. And not to mention what's happened over here in England. People going to court, people being charged with all kinds of charges, people being acquitted of pedo. That guy was acquitted of pedo, and you know, there's a lot of complaints, man. Let me see if I find that guy. There's one well-known pedo, Kevin Spacey, cleared of assault charges. Yeah, the real word is pedo. So there's going to be more complaints. There's going to be more cracks starting to show. He's gonna get, whether he gets found guilty here in this, on his side in his kingdom or not, he's going to be found guilty when Yahushua come back, because he's going to be placed in slavery with shackles on him, and we're going to beat them, yeah, with a rod of iron. And we're their true slave masters. Yeah. The men that you had us in slavery and how you treated us, we're going to treat you likewise. We're going to beat you the way you beated us and our forefathers. You will be found guilty. Not guilty, guilty. Kevin Spacey, running off in the sunset. But your whole shine, the angels are watching all of you. Right? So, another word that came to me, let me read a precept while I was watching the news, because you can just be watching the news. Oh, let me see what it says here in let's read the precept first. Because I was interested in something. I tapped in here. Hold on, let's go to this one here, man. Derision, yeah. When I tapped it in, occurred 15 times derision. Yeah, 15 times, 15 verses in the KJV. So, which means to make mockery. So it's a prominent word in the precepts. Prominent word. Most sides making mockery of them right now. You got all the scriptures that come up. 15 times, 15 precepts come up, or 15 verses in the Bible. So I wanted to look at something else, because another word, I was interested in another word too. This is in 2 Samuel 8. And 2 Samuel 8:40 says, and he put derision in Edom, throughout all Edom, but his derision and all of Edom became David's servants, and the Lord preserved David wheresoever he went. Derision. So I tapped that one in, because they sound quite similar, and I said, okay, let's see what's going on with these words, derision and the derision. Garrisons, yeah, let me pronounce it correctly. Garrisons and derision. So garrison occurs 7 times and in 6 verses in the scriptures in the KJV. They're not the same word. Some of you may have knew that, but I got to the bottom of that. I wanted to find that, and I did. Now, when I looked at the word garrison, I need to look at the word garrison. The meaning, I came up with some. Garrison in the Bible, garrison, a station, a place where one stands. A military or fortified post. Meaning, it means a group of troops stationed in a fortress or town to defend it. Force unit, yeah, because King David, when you look back, let's look back at that garrison. King David, it usually comes up after King David when he was ruling. Then David put garrisons in Syria and Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David and brought gifts, and the Lord preserved David wheresoever he went. 2 Samuel 8 and 6, 2 Samuel 8 and 14. We just looked at that. Edom throughout all, and he put Gerisions in Edom throughout all Edom, but his Gerisions and all they of Edom became servants, David's servants, and the Lord preserved David wheresoever he went. Usually, after when David was ruling, that word Gerision, he usually had a lot. All he was ruling, and he had them under a station, under him, and they was his servants. And David, First Chronicles 18 and 6. Then David put Gerisions, and there's more. So 7 times in 6 verses in the Bible, Gerisions. Gerisions mean, we're going to look at it to defend, guard, protect, preserve, fortify. A group of troops stationed in fortress or town to defend it. Now, what does it say in the etymology? Gerisions, store treasures, because David, basically, they was his servants, man. And he ruled over them. Yeah, our armies, the 12 tribes, we had all of the 12 tribes, our mighty men, and David, as the king, had them in derision, all of the servants, particularly the ease. Defend, protection, safety, security. You know, these people here today, let's see the point. Meaning fortified stronghold is from early that of the body of troops in a fortress. Let's get the pronunciation here. Garnish, from Guinea to finish. The old French garnism, something to that effect. So this guy here, right, who's losing their mind, most are throwing them in derision, and when Yahushua come back, all of these senile, because you know what, they're losing their mind, they're losing the plot, the power and the pressure is too much for them. They need to be under derision. They need to be under derision. They need to be ruled over. That's the point I'm making. Yeah, when I came to the conclusion that they're under derisions, right, confusion, Moses making a mockery of them. So Yahushua need to come back with the 144,000 to have them in derision. They need to be ruled over. They need to be. They need a ruler. They need to be back in slavery because they can't handle the job. They can't handle the pressure of ruling over Yahshua, the people, because really that was just a punishment. All of the things that brought out in Deuteronomy 28, the punishment, the curses. So these people need to be out of there. That's really all I wanted to bring out. Did I look at derision in the? I think I missed that one. Derision in the etymology. Derision in the etymology says ridicule, mockery, subjected to ridicule or mockery. So Midge McConnell, however you pronounce that name, is being ridiculed now by the Most High, because he's the Most High sitting up in the heavens and laughing. That is what's taking place. And Yahshua, as King David did then, so Yahushua come back now, with the rod and because he's from the tribe of Judah, and it talks about the scepter in Genesis 49. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. Need to come back with the rod and have them, put them back in garrisons to be ruled over. Right, they need to be back ruled over. Let's check this out. I want to read it, and then we're going to look at the word in the blue letter. We haven't done that. So, and David got him. Let's read from 13. And David got him a name when he returned from smiting of the Assyrians in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. He smote them. He smote the Assyrians. And he put garrisons in Edom throughout all Edom. But he garrisons and all of Edom became David's servants, and the Lord preserved David wheresoever he went. So the word is garrisons. I was pronouncing it wrong. It's garrisons. That's why they sound the same. So now, blue letter. What does it say? We looked at the etymology and what Google had to say. Garrisons in the Greek and the Hebrew.
Strong's H 5333. Netziv. Netziv.
Set over something, place. So Midge McConnell and all the other bugouts in the Senate and all the MPs them over here in England need to be set over something, placed, pillar. They need garrisons, a post to be put over them. Yeah, so they can stop acting the fool and stop going into they need heat. They need to be ruled over, man. They need to be ruled over. And Yehoshua is ultimately going to come back and after the missiles, going to destroy all the rednecks, all the redneck Edomites and the wicked in general. Yeah, Yehoshua going to come back and put all the elite, the government, the shadow government back in derision where they belong. Right? Because this is just a damn joke. It's a joke thing. It's a folly. So let's look at this one and we're going to end it off. First Chronicles 18 and 14 says, and David reigned over all Israel and executed judgment and justice and among all his people. What happened in (13). We want 13 because makes the point further, brings it home further. So we want 18 and 13. First Chronicles 18 and 13. And he put derisions in Edom, and in all of the Edomites became David's servants. Thus the Lord preserved David wheresoever he went. All right, we know what the word Edomite means, but I want to look at it. He had derisions in Edom. Right? Edom, Edomites, Adumia, descendants of Esau, the land of Edom, Idumea. Right, and it says it south of the. So here we have it here. Edom, Idumea, the so-called today, the red people, them which they name themselves white, which they're not white, but we know who they are today. Yeah, Senator Republican Mitch McConnell. You need to be ruled over, man. You need to be put back in slavery. And those type of things ain't gonna happen. You're just gonna be too busy working, man, getting whipped. You ain't gonna have time to get no amnesia or the other thing what they get it's amnesia, but when they get old they get another thing, man. Let me check it out. It might be when you get old, let me check it out. When you get not a seizure. Hold on. It's not amnesia. It's lost train of thought and traveling off with. All right, let me see if I find that. The old people them get that. As a matter of fact, let's ask Google before I don't have to tap in all that. What happens when old people get old and lose their memory?
According to Alzheimer's Society of Canada, age-associated memory impairment is considered to be a normal part of aging. It doesn't mean you have dementia, though you may have difficulties remembering things on occasion, like where you left your keys, a password for a website, or the name of a former classmate. These are not signs you have dementia.
What happens when old people lose their memory? Normal old related memory loss doesn't cause a significant disruption in the daily life. For example, you might socially forget a person's name. Let's just tap it in because these people they never get to the point. Dementia. Dementia. It says that people with dementia often experience memory loss. This is because dementia is caused by damage to the brain. Yeah, we did look up in his history. He's had some brain damage as well. He had a broken arm and he's had a head injury. That's the excuse they're giving. But it's dementia, man. You get it whether you get it. You get it anyway because you're just old, because you're Edomite. You're premature. You got weaker. You're weaker people. So you get things. Everything happens to them. Growing old before their time, getting wrinkled before their time, because they ain't got no melanin. It's not the main reason, but basically because the Most High created them weaker and Jacob was stronger. So everything starts to fall apart prematurely. This is because dementia is caused by damage to the brain, and this damage can affect areas of the brain involving in creating and retrieving memories. For a person with dementia, memory problems will become more persistent and will begin to affect everyday life. Hence why the man lost his mind in the middle of a sentence. He froze up. Let's see if I find out a little bit more about this thing here. Dementia. And it's not even about that. It's just that I wanted to look at the word derisions and derisions as well. And I got to the bottom of it. Because the Most High is he's in control of everything. Dementia is not a specific disease, but it's rather a general term for the impaired ability to remember, think, or make decisions that interferes with doing everyday activities. Alzheimer's disease is the most common type of dementia. Though dementia mostly affects older adults, it is not a part of normal aging. This is happening to these people because the Most High is throwing them in. He's having them in derision, and derision. And the Most High is doing what? He's sitting up. Psalms 2 and 4. He that sitteth up in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision. It's all of the Lord, because man's going is of the Lord. And the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. He's in control of all of this. They can call it dementia, they can call it Alzheimer's, they can call it aging, whatever they want to call it. The Most High is doing it. He's in control of it. So I just wanted to get into that and look at those precepts. Derision and derision. Both two prominent words that we had E in. And even now we're still gonna. And for the future they will be in derision. But right now the Most High has them in derision. Which means to make a mockery of and he's sitting up in the heavens and laughing. So the Wada Tioba Shimashah, give me the spirit to do this video. Rise up to the house of David. Yes, the house of David is rising. Everything the wicked have done to us, past, present, and future, is falling in their own head. And the Most High is sitting up in the heavens and laughing. Shalom to the next one.